We have some breaking news here on NFL Daily. The Colts have fired head coach Frank Reich after a 3-5-1 start to their season. They lost yesterday and lost so badly, and now they fire their head coach, Tom Pelissero, confirming the news. Source, Frank Reich is fired. So after a couple of good seasons in Indy, they did not make the playoffs last season, off to a bad start this season. They have fired head coach Frank Reich. Welcome in NFL Daily. I am Will Scott here with some news and rumors with NFL Week 9 wrapping up. Not officially, but tonight after Monday Night Football, we'll close the book on Week 9. But still a lot of news and rumors to discuss after yesterday's games. And if you guys want to stay in a loop with all of that, go down, hit that big red subscribe button. We get you guys daily content all season long on the National Football League. Go down, hit that big red subscribe button. Who could have seen this coming, guys? Lions beating the Packers yesterday 15-9 in what's been a disastrous season for Green Bay. I mean, they're now 3-6 after their first 9 games, and to add insult to injury, they lost one of their best players for the season yesterday. Ian Rappaport tweeting this morning. Rashan Gary tears his ACL, source confirms, and he'll have an MRI to determine if there is additional damage. More bad luck for the Packers. So they're 3-6. They lose the Lions, and now they lose Rashan Gary for the season. That is the breaking news developing this morning in the National Football League. We saw him leave yesterday's game with a knee injury. Now it is confirmed that he tore his ACL, and he'll miss the remainder of the 2022 season. It's a shame. He's having a great year. I mean, 6 sacks in 9 games, 7 tackles for loss, 12 QB hits, 32 tackles overall. And so this is just a ginormous loss for a Packers team that is really struggling as we break down all the injuries from yesterday's game. All of these guys left the game. Romeo Doubs with an ankle, Eric Stokes, Aaron Jones. That is something to monitor. We'll keep you posted on Jones' status, but now we know that Rashan Gary knee injury is in fact a torn ACL. He's out for the year. And then Christian Watson was evaluated for a concussion in yesterday's game. And guys, the Vikings already have the NFC North wrapped up 7-1. The Packers and the Bears 3-6. The Lions right now last, even after that win, with a 2-6 record. So it appears that Kirk Cousins, Drip Cousins, as we saw on the plane yesterday, really has this division wrapped up. Is the Packers season over? Are their playoff hopes done? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. I'm actually going to type in for no. And here's why. Yes, they're 3-6 right now, but they're only, a game and a half back of the last wild card spot in the NFC. Based on, how poorly some teams have been playing in that conference this year, I would not be shocked if a 9-8 team got into the playoffs. So the Packers have to go 6-2, but certainly don't count out Aaron Rodgers. But I know Rodgers a couple of years ago was like, relax. No, it's time to hit the panic button in Green Bay. Talking about some Bills injury news now. You got Gregory Rousseau, he left with an ankle, and then Kaiir Elam left with an ankle injury as well. We'll continue to keep you posted on their status. Vikings injury news. Cameron Dantzler suffered an ankle injury versus the Commanders, was ruled out the rest of the game. He did not return. Vikings still got the big win over there against the Commanders. Guys, you can go bet on the NFL all season long if you go to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code NFL Daily to pick up a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put $100 in, you're going to start with $225 in your account. There's like over 100 college basketball games today. I might bet on all of them on BetUS, chatsports.com/bet. But let's talk about, the football odds here, Super Bowl odds. Buffalo Bills right now still the favorites to win the ship after the loss yesterday to the Jets. Eagles, the last unbeaten team in the league, right behind them. They're 8-0. The Chiefs, the Niners are on this list. It's kind of odd. I get it. They're 4-4. They got McCaffrey, but they're 4-4. And the Dallas Cowboys at plus 1,400 here to win the Super Bowl. So you can go bet on all those teams or just one team if you feel confident about one. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily for that 125% deposit bonus. Shifting gears now to that really interesting Panthers-Bengals game yesterday. Bengals are up 35-0 at the half, so they ended up putting Baker Mayfield in the game to replace P.J. Walker was not injury-related, and Baker actually looked pretty good, throwing for 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 126 passer rating. And you have to imagine at this point that they'll insert Baker back as the starter next week. When he went down with an injury, P.J. Walker came in and looked decent, but yesterday was really rough for P.J. Walker and just the Panthers in general. Guys, who's going to have the number 1 pick? And you got to imagine whoever does is going to take a quarterback, whether it be Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. Type HOU for the Texans, DET for the Lions, CAR for the Panthers, or if somebody else you think is going to get the number 1 pick, type O for other down in the comments. I think it's going to be the Texans, and I think they take Bryce Young with that top pick. A lot of OBJ rumors that we've been seeing, and yeah, we've talked about where he could go for months now, but we might know something here in the next few days. Ari Mirov tweeted this yesterday. Free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. should be fully cleared by the end of this week, per Jay Glazer, Fox Sports. Expect a plethora of teams to show interest. Here are some of those teams that might show interest in Odell Beckham Jr. The Baltimore Ravens really need some receiver help. The Packers, the Bills, and the Giants as well might be in the mix, but the Dallas Cowboys seem to be the team getting the most steam right now in terms of those rumors. Here's what Mike Garafolo said about OBJ to Dallas. The Cowboys were active at the trade deadline, making calls with hopes of landing a speedy receiver. In the end, no deal made sense, and they stood pat. There is one more receiver out there for them, though. Odell Beckham Jr., the top free agent available, is firmly on the Cowboys' radar, sources say, and they are expected to be in the mix when he's ready to pick his team upon full recovery from an ACL tear. Dallas at 6-2 has plenty of weapons, but its pursuit of a receiver who can run shows the team is in the market for more offensive help. I think the question all of us have right now, where is OBJ headed? Expected to be fully cleared this week. A signing could come shortly after that. We talked about the Cowboys, but another team in the NFC might be in the mix here, and that's the New York Giants, his former team. Joe Schoen, the Giants GM, said this: we're going to do our due diligence all the time. And he's a guy that we've reached out to his representatives. We're in contact with his reps, where he is in rehab, what he's projected to be, whether it's 4 weeks from now or 5 weeks in terms of his health, when he's going to be available again. We hope the ACL that he tore in February, so his timeline, he tore that ACL in February, so his timeline, we got to figure out what that is. When he's going to be 100% healthy, what he's looking for financially. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Anybody that'll upgrade our roster at any position, we're going to pursue those, and he checks that box of a guy we're going to continue to stay in contact with. Normally you don't hear a GM, be that honest about pursuing a player, but Joe Schoen, man, a breath of fresh air. He's keeping us in the loop here with the OBJ news. 48 receptions last season, 12 games with the Rams, 593 yards, 7 touchdowns. That includes playoff games. So OBJ proved that he still has a lot of gas left in the tank the way he played last season in L.A. on that Super Bowl team. Guys, where is OBJ going to sign? Is it going to be the Giants? Is it going to be the Cowboys? Is it going to be maybe a surprise team? Go down the comment section. Before the season, I would have said the Rams, but they're 3-5. They're not looking like a Super Bowl team right now, and OBJ wants to be a part of a contending team. Talking about a team that's trying to be a contender this year, that is the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be tough to do that without Ryan Tannehill. He missed last night's game. He was inactive with an ankle injury. The week before, he was inactive with an illness. So, that's 2 straight weeks now that Tannehill's missed, which means Malik Willis got his first start. Here's what he did. Yeah, you're reading that correctly. Just 5 completions, 16 total attempts, 80 yards, no touchdowns, 40 rushing yards. So, not a great day for Malik Willis. It's crazy. The Chiefs won 2017 in overtime. And there were no receptions by a Titans wide receiver in that game yesterday. Not one by a Titans wide receiver. The Chiefs got the win in overtime. They improved to 6-2. Titans fall to 5-3. But I think the storyline, or at least a big storyline yesterday, is Malik Willis. Is he still going to be the future QB in Tennessee? Type 1 for yes or type 0 for no down in the comments. I'm going to say yes. I don't think it's going to be next year anymore, maybe the year after that. But I still believe he has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. He hasn't played well the last 2 weeks. The Titans beat the Texans in his first start, but he didn't play well then either. But, yeah, I still think he's got potential, but there's definitely going to be some growing pains. He's a project for sure, so hopefully it works out with him in Tennessee. Taking a look now at the updated playoff picture, you got the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Titans right now as the division leaders. And then the Jets, Dolphins, and Chargers are currently in when you're talking about the wild card race. Now, the Pats, the Bengals, and the Colts are right now on the outside looking in, but you see the dip between 9 and 10. So there's really 9 teams right now in the mix here. I don't really see another team emerging, but there might be a 10 and 7 team that misses the playoffs. We'll see. A lot of talented teams here in the AFC. I think a lot more talented than the NFC for sure. Guys, go down, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep you posted on all NFL news and rumors. Might even get you guys a Colts hot board here in the next few days.